everybody. Welcome to Fit for Life. My name is Anna. Let's get up and get moving. We're going to start off with our warm-up. Today you're going to need a TheraBand and your chair, and that's about it. So, like I said, my name is Anna. I am a kinesiologist, exercise specialist here in Westlock for the Aspen Primary Care Network. We used to do this class in person at the Spirit Center, but while we can't get together in person, we're doing our best to stay motivated and stay moving from the safety of our own homes. So make sure while you're exercising on your own at your home that you are putting your own safety first, and that you're keeping in mind that performing exercise with this video is at your own risk, and there's inherent risk with any form of physical activity. The Aspen Primary Care Network is not liable for any kind of injuries or damages that could be incurred during participation with this video. So please, safety first, listen to your body. If anything's not quite feeling right, no problem with sitting down, taking a break, and waiting until the next exercise. So we're getting our good march on the spot here. Nice high knees, and we feel our breath is starting to quicken. We're getting some warmth in those muscles as the blood starts to flow to the extremities. Heart's starting to pump a little faster, and we're getting a nice little warm up here. Let's switch to our polka. Nice and light on your toes. Feels good to get moving. Remember, safety first. Practicing our little polka here. Feels good. All right. Okay. Let's do our hip swings. Nice and loose through that hip. Just go as far as you're comfortable. If you find that you have a range that is painful to go into, stay out of that range. If your hip swing is looking a little bit more like this, that's just fine. You can do more, do more. You can do less, do less. That's okay. Let's do the other side. Nice and loose through that hip. My left hip is always a little stickier than the right. That's normal to have some imbalances. Not uncommon anyways. Good. Make sure I try and stay on time with you guys here today. Let's do our shoulder circles. Starting small, getting bigger, getting bigger. Nice big shoulder circles, and getting smaller again. And then changing directions. Start small, get bigger. Nice big swimmer's shoulders here. And then getting smaller again. Good job. Okay, so we're going to start. We're not actually using the band yet. I'm looking for my little cheat sheet here. I've got my notebook. So we're going to start off with static lunges today. So I really like these static lunges for really paying attention to our form in lunges. So static means that we're taking that really nice big step, and we're just going to stay there while we lunge down. I want you to really think about that lunge happening down rather than forward, okay? I like having my chair close by for some balance, and I'm thinking about this back knee going down, and when I come up, I'm thinking about this butt squeezing everything up, okay? Coming down, squeeze that glute up. Actually, it's this butt, sorry. Knee drops down, butt squeezes us up, okay? The glute there, all right? and up. Good job. Remembering that we're going down, not forward. I'm going to show you guys a side view here. Nice big step. Don't be scared to take a nice big step. And then we're thinking about going down. And you see how nothing is getting loaded too far on that front knee, okay? I don't want to do this because that's going to cause me pain in through that knee, all right? And if it hurts to go down too far, don't go down too far, okay? If you're okay just coming down to a quarter lunge and then squeezing up, that's fine. Stay there. That's okay. Let's switch to the other side. Big step. I'm going to use the wall here so you guys can still see. Down, squeeze up. Squeeze that glute up. Okay? Up we go. And squeeze. Good job. These do get easier the more that we practice and when we practice it correctly, okay? And to practice correctly means that I need to be going nicely down. My weight should be nice and down here, not tilting forward. And I'm not going down too far if I'm not ready to go down too far. And I've got a lot of power bringing me up from my glute. Okay? Good job. Good, strong legs there. We're going to do some standing side leg raises. You can add a band to this if you want, but quite often I find with the band, our form gets worse. So I like to do a few of these just in standing. You can do these on a mat in side lying as well. Now, things to keep in mind with our standing side leg raises. I'd like you to pause at the top and slowly come back down. Make sure that your torso is nice and straight and that you're not sticking out your butt, okay? So nice and straight through the torso. Make sure this leg isn't drifting forward. And make sure that your toes are still pointing forward the whole time, that they're not starting to point out to the side like that, and that you're not tilting. I'm going to exaggerate there, but you get the idea. I want this to be from the side of your hip. Okay? Let's do the other side. Standing nice and straight, out to the side, slow it on down, coming back. Pause at the top, slow it on down. Good work. And slow. Making sure that we're trying not to tilt. Resist that urge. Okay. Slowly back. Nice and strong through this standing leg. If you want, you could add a band to this, but like I said, I really prefer the good quality of movement focus that comes without a band. All right? One that I am going to add a band to, though, is the standing hamstring curls. So for this one, I'm just gonna make a little bit of a loop on my green band here. I'm gonna step my foot through there, and I'm gonna come on up, slowly back. Nice and slow. Squeeze that heel towards the bum, making sure that the knee is staying in line with your other knee, and that this isn't turning into a hip flexion exercise like that. This is hamstring curl. Nicely isolating those hamstrings that like to become so weak and so tight. We're gonna strengthen them up because the happiest muscles are both strong and flexible. And if you feel like you're starting to cramp or anything in through that hamstring, definitely take the band off. You don't need to load it too much if the hamstrings aren't ready for that. Okay, let's do the other side. I'm not even tying my band here. I'm just standing on the free ends with my standing leg and curling that heel towards the bum, slowly coming on down. Okay. Great exercise and a lot of knee rehab and a lot of hip problems. We really like to get those hamstrings and those glutes firing. Here we're very much targeting the hamstrings. Okay, slowly back down, slow and controlled. If you have a lighter band, now's a good time to pull it out. And I'm going to do my last few without the band, focusing on that squeeze at the top. Nice quality of movement. Okay. Slowly releasing, even when we have no weight. Okay. We're just going to blast right on through here today. We're going to do our chair squats next. I'm going to do them again like last time with the band wrapped around my knees. That's my new latest favorite way to do squats. So I'm going to take that band, make a nice tie, and then coming a little bit wider than hip width apart. I'm still going to be aiming for the seat here and just to touch and coming on up. Really focusing on keeping those knees strong out over top of my ankles and making sure that I'm not collapsing in at the knee and the ankle. So this is requiring some good strength happening in through my glutes, in through my legs, in through my feet even. Okay, and just a touch. And if you can't get all the way down, if it hurts to go all the way to the chair, just do a quarter squat, making sure that you're still aiming well, so our weight is still stacked nicely back. And you can see how I'm not falling into this trap here, okay? I'm still really aiming for the chair, coming on up. The depth of it is up to you, okay? However you feel comfortable there. Keep those knees strong, nicely pressing apart, okay? Feels good to be moving ourselves. And a couple more for good measure here. Good job. Okay, I'm going to take my band off here. And we're going to start our upper body. It's going to look a little bit different today. We're going to be doing a couple different things in with the shoulders. So pay attention if you've had a rotator cuff tear, try and stay in the lower ranges. I'm going to start off with a single arm shoulder press. So I'm anchoring the body, anchoring the band to my torso here. And I'm going to start at the shoulder and pressing straight up. Now, if you have a problem with your shoulder, you might want to do more of a front punch, okay? If your shoulders are good, come on up into the shoulder press, keeping that shoulder blade still nicely down along your spine. Try not to be doing this kind of crunch up to the ear thing. Torso stays nice and straight. And coming on down. Good job. All right. First few should feel pretty easy. By the time we're up into these last few repetitions, we should feel some fatigue and some warmth happening in that shoulder. Let's go to the other side, starting nicely at the shoulder, coming on up. All right, nice press overhead. If you have pain going overhead, keep it to the 90 degrees. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, keep it below that horizontal. All right, a few more. Keeping that shoulder down, not crunching up towards your ear. And we're good. Okay, the next one we're going to do is again going into some of those higher ranges. If you do have shoulder problems, just stay in the lower ranges for this. So this one, I used to call it drawing a sword because that's kind of what we're doing here. And I want you to make sure a common problem here is that we end up doing this with the thumb pointing down. I want you to make sure that your thumb is always pointing up, okay? So up or forward. So we're going to be really careful with the tension on your band on this one. We're going to start across the body and we're going to draw a nice diagonal in front of us as so. Kind of doing this sword draw from our opposite pocket. The band is anchored over here at my hip, kind of holding it to my pocket here. And we're doing a nice cross body diagonal here. I'm keeping my elbow pretty straight. As I do this, squeeze that shoulder blade back. And a couple more. Great job. All right, one more for good measure here. Make sure that thumb is still pointing up. Mine kind of to the side. You don't want it to point down. All right, other side, anchoring that band to my hip. I'm going to have the arm fairly straight in front of me, and I'm coming across the body. Okay, good work in for a rotator cuff here. Having to stabilize a lot. And being careful if you have problems with your shoulder. No problem in doing this in a lower range, okay? Slow down the release. With the band, we're always looking for a nice, slow, eccentric contraction where we're having to control the release. Okay, good. All right, we're really doing a number on the shoulders today, so I hope you're keeping up. Last one we're going to do for, I think the last one we're going to do for our shoulders is the wide out fly. Okay, so we're going to hold the band in front of us. My arms are straight, thumbs up position, never pointing down, and we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together and bring that band apart. Squeeze those shoulder blades, making sure that your shoulders are not crunching up by your ears. They're nicely down along your spine, and squeeze the shoulder blades, and nice release. Okay, first few should have felt pretty easy. By the time we're getting a little further along in numbers here, we should feel that fatigue between the shoulder blades. Cross that upper back. Don't worry, we'll do a stretch for it at the end. And a couple more if you can. One more here. All right. Good job. We're going to do a couple different exercises for our core today. And the first one we're going to do, we're actually going to get up out of our chair. We're going to use the chair here. Now you can use the seat of your chair, you can use the back of your chair, or you can even use your kitchen counter or a wall for support if you want to. But what we're going to do here, they're called mountain climbers. We're going to kind of get on this angle here, and we're going to draw our knee up to our opposite shoulder and slowly back down and across and back. Try and keep your bum down as good as you can. All right. And drawing that knee slowly towards the opposite shoulder or elbow, I guess. It's a little easier to aim for. You can use the back of the chair. Just make sure you've got sturdy support there. Drawing that knee towards the opposite shoulder. The kitchen counter usually doesn't go too far. That's a nice one to use as well. Slowly back. And good job. Okay, make sure you're still breathing. We should feel that nicely in through the abdominals there. The last one we're going to do is a mountain biker, I think. Take my best guess at the names on these. What we're going to do is we're going to semi-recline. I'm not going to ask you to be twisting around too much this time. I fold my hands across my chest. You can hold on to your abdomen as well. Make sure it's not going anywhere. Nicely activated, semi-recline. I'm going to do 1 foot at a time. I'm going to draw that knee up, and then I'm going to draw the other one up. All right, if you want, you can do a touch of a twist here. Remembering to breathe. All right. Nice and slow and subtle. Take a breath. We're going to do that one more time. Remembering that the further we sit forward in our chairs, the harder it's going to be. If you feel you need a little bit more support for your abdominals and your back, sit a little bit further back in your chair. If you need to, you can lean back while you're doing this. This might be hard enough for you, and that's okay. If you feel like you can do the semi-recline where you're not touching the back of the chair, try it. Try doing a little bit of a twist. Try doing a little bit of that semi-recline. Okay? Nice work. In through the abdomen here. Slower is better. Are you breathing? Make sure you're breathing while you're doing these abdominal exercises. Breath holding is no good for us while we're doing these, guys. I'm never going to ask you to breath hold in my exercises, okay? That was really good. Let's stand up and do our balance exercises. We're going to check in, as always, with our tandem stand. So, taking our line on the floor, nice heel to toe stand. See how you're feeling. Is your weight mostly on the back foot? See, can you transfer the weight a little bit? See how it feels. Feel those abdominals, how they just did all that work. And then switch the feet. Now, if balance is a challenge for you, remember, always have a wall close by or your chair. I really like the kitchen counter is a nice, safe height to steady yourself on. And challenge yourself, though. If you require full support, see if you can graduate to less and less fingers for support. Do you need a full hand on? Can you go to less and less fingers? Remembering that the wobble in our feet is good, okay? So we're going to get onto our 1-foot stand today, and we're going to check in, see how we're feeling. Can you do this without any support? Check your hips. Did your hip just drop when you came onto 1 foot? Or are you able to stay nice and activated? Are you able to swing this leg a little bit? Bounce through the knee. We're gonna do a little bit of a fun, just kind of bouncy swing here today. And feel how that foot, and you might need support for this one. I want you to go up on your tippy toes as good as you can. Really ground through that foot. Slowly come down. It's okay if you need some support. See if you can stand steady. Feel how much fatigue starts to happen in that foot. Let's do it on the other side, okay? A little bit of up and down and bouncing for our balance today. So, onto one leg. Did your hip just drop? Make sure that your hip stays well activated here, nice and straight in through the hips. We're not sagged. So, how are you for support? How is your knee? Are you able to be soft through that knee? Are you able to swing the other leg a little bit? We can try doing a bit of a dance here. That's okay. Have your support nearby if you need. Can you go up? Do you have the strength to go up onto your tippy toes on one leg? Can you go up there with no support and slowly lower yourself back down? Feel how much fatigue happens so very quickly in through that foot. Okay, we're going to sit down and do our stretches. We're getting through them today, you guys. Great. Maybe I'll be on time. And then I started my clock late, so. We're going to start off with our neck. Today, I'm going to hold on to the side of the chair, and I'm going to lean away a little bit to create a bit of a pull on this shoulder. This is called self-tractioning through the shoulder, and I can add in my neck stretch. When I self-traction like this, just very gently, I'm creating a bit of a gap in through that joint space. Other side, holding on, leaning away. And when I create a bit of that pull in through the joint space, just very gently, of course, I'm creating a succussive action in that joint. And what that succussive action does is, switch sides, is it promotes production of synovial fluid in the joint. So within the joint capsule, we have a lubricative fluid. It provides nutrition and lubrication to that joint. And we want a healthy amount of fluid in that joint to provide all that good stuff in there. And doing a little bit of attraction helps promote creation of that fluid. It's really good for us, okay? Of course, we want to be safe with that. You don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to hurt yourself. Let's do our upper back stretch. So for this one, we're going to clasp our hands in front of us, and I want you to push your hands in front of you as far as you can, really rounding the back this time. I don't tell you guys to round your upper back too often, but you can see here that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm pushing these hands as far forward as they'll go, and I'm going to tuck my chin down to my chest and feel a nice stretch across my shoulder blades. Come on up. Roll those shoulders back and down. Feels good. Let's reset. We're going to do it one more time. Clasp those hands in front of us. Roll those shoulders forward and push and tuck. Remember to breathe. Nice stretch. Good job. Coming on out slowly, rolling those shoulders back and down. Get them reset. Really nice. We're going to do our twist. so, making sure we twist right from our seat all the way to our crown. So make sure you look where you're going, reaching behind you. Nice twist. Doing that shoulder check. Other side. Really looking where you're going. I definitely use my hands here to help pull myself a little bit more. Nice twist. And the other side. Feels good. Okay, and I'm going to stretch out my glutes again today, remembering that I've switched the kind of glute stretch that is my favorite because my favorite exercises change all the time. So instead, I mean, you can do, this guy feels pretty good too, on this side. You can do the ankle on the knee, sit nice and tall, and hinge forward. This is a great modification on the traditional figure 4 stretch that is done on the floor. So you can do it this way. If you have problems in the knee or the hip, I would suggest just hooking the ankle over the knee, drawing this knee towards the opposite shoulder and twisting into it a bit. Feeling a nice pull in through the glute. Making sure that we're sitting very tall still. You can see that my posture is still nice and straight. And the other side, hook that ankle over the knee, drawing this knee to the opposite shoulder and twisting into it. Nice and upright posture still. I'm kind of using my arm to hug this knee in towards that shoulder. And we're feeling a nice pull in through the hip, the glutes there, side of the leg. Okay. Knee over. Nice twist. And if you prefer the figure 4 instead, that's fine. That's this one. I've been having a couple issues with my knees, so I'm having to modify accordingly. Nothing wrong with that. And if you feel like you have something going on and you could benefit from some modifications, feel free to talk to your doctor about getting a one-on-one referral to see one of the exercise specialists here at the PCN. Okay, let's stretch our hamstrings to finish off. Plant the heel, engage the toe. Making sure for this one that you're sitting far enough forward in your seat, because if your leg is too supported, you're not going to feel that stretch. So scooch forward in your chair, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting nice and tall, hinging forward. See how well we're maintaining our posture here. Really focusing on this hinge just coming from the hip. The goal is not to reach my toes, okay? That movement is all coming from my back. So, sitting forward in the chair, plant the heel, engage the toe. Sitting tall. For a lot of people, this might be it. This might be enough. If you can, hinge forward a little bit, making sure that you're still breathing. A lot of us have a bad habit of holding our breath when we do our exercises, when we stretch, all kinds of things. Plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, and hinge. Nice, gentle pull. We're never being too aggressive with our stretches, because if you push too far into it, if you go, yeah, I can reach just a little bit farther, what's going to happen is the muscle is going to rebound, it's going to kick you out, and tomorrow you're going to feel twice as stiff and twice as sore as when you started. Plant the heel, engage the toe. You can think of creating a muscle, drawing this kneecap up towards you. Think of making a muscle with your quads, nice and tall, slight hinge. keep that kneecap activated. I shouldn't be able to wiggle it around right now because my knee is activated, if that makes sense. It's another way to protect your knee while you're doing this. Okay? So, as always, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us here at the PCN. Drop a comment, give us a call. You can always talk to your doctor about a one-on-one referral to see us for exercise. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks again.